coffee. It's gonna mean one less buck, but maybe six will bring me luck. Got a little shake I kept in the fridge. Gonna drink my bean and walk out and smoke it on the Walt Whitman Bridge.
Walt Whitman, one of America's greatest poets. Born in May 1819 and in New York. Whitman compiled all of his poetry in his book Leaves of Grass, which he continued to revise throughout his life. However, the connection between his poems is that in order for people to have democracy and freedom, there must be sacrifices along the way, and in most cases, war and injuries will occur. The short piece in the beginning of this video is by Mara, and is called Walt Whitman Bridge, named after the picture here. I will begin by introducing the poems with O Captain, My Captain, a poem about a soldier during the Civil War who has returned home victorious but at the cost of his captain. The second poem is Ashes of Soldiers. It is a poem remembering soldiers that have died as a result of war and their accomplishments are still remembered in memory. The third poem is When Lilacs Last in the Dooryard Bloomed. This poem is a tribute to Abraham Lincoln after his assassination, as the flowers are being laid atop his funeral grave. Now I will introduce Ernest Meissonier, a French painter during the 1800s. He mostly did paintings of war scenes, which brings me to the first artwork, The Siege of Paris. This painting explains how battle is fought and won. It shows the struggle that soldiers go through during battle, and it shows the injuries that they sustain in order to win. You may notice an angel in the corner showing the good that the soldiers are trying to bring, along with what they must go through in order to attain that. It is apparent that there is a subject of war and tragedies and victories that come with it. It is clear that Whitman is not the only artist who tried to bring attention to what soldiers do for the common folk who stay home while battles are going on. In addition, Meissonier wanted to celebrate military campaigns, but also the bad things that happen in war. It is clear that past artists had the same ideas that Whitman had. However, modern filmmaking shows a great correspondence as well. The second piece of artwork is a film made in 2001 by Steven Spielberg and starring Tom Hanks and Matt Damon. In this film, a battalion must go back to war areas in order to bring back one of their comrades. This has to do with soldiers going out and fighting for others' freedom. Along the way, they all go through injuries and lose their comrades. It shows the good and the struggles that all of the characters have to go through in order to get justice for their friend. In this film, there is a feeling of a common goal that although these soldiers are tired and hurt, they put away their own problems to help the mother who is coping with the loss of almost all her family. Unfortunately, lives are lost in the process, but freedom is still attained. This goes to show that people have courage and sacrifice not only to save their friend, but to survive. It is thus proven that contemporary art, as well as 19th century art, have connections to the idea that Walt Whitman had throughout his poems and throughout a good portion of people's lives. Thus it seems as though a theme of courage seems to be tied into a mission that soldiers have. Lastly, this goes to show that in order for people to be liberated, sacrifices must be made, and with that, lives may be lost. This applies to art, because artists look to show people's suffering and the courage that some employ. Thus, this type of a topic makes for art that is both passionate but also meaningful in the sense that it portrays a message to the common people who do not ordinarily witness the atrocities of war. Thank you.